Hello everyone, welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. So this is of course career mode then, round 4 in my rather slow McLaren Honda. And this is the first race since the... It's the first race since the first race, makes a lot of sense, that I will be using a setup. But I will talk about that in a minute. So there's the strategy, pretty standard stuff. And I skipped through all the normal stuff because I was sort of quite keen to get going with this race, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure if I was going to carry on the career mode series, so I just wanted to jump in, do a race, get back with motivation, which worked nicely. I've qualified P5, see that? 8 tenths back from pole, so much better pace. Straight to front bias, building up the revs nicely, and they're out straight away. Getting a pretty good start there, not wheel spinning the car too much, getting a pretty decent launch. Not perfect, but not too bad either. And we've already lost a couple of positions though, so we're going to try and go on the outside here of Daniel Ricciardo, braking quite late. There's 4 cars ahead, oh, a bit of contact with Red Bull, but luckily doesn't affect us too much. Trying to get hard on power on the exit to be nice and close to these cars ahead, which I am indeed. And we know they tend to brake quite early into this next corner, so sticking right in the slipstream, but still losing some straight line speed, which isn't great. So we're going to dive on the inside here, and actually got the inside of Hamilton as well. Brake very late, that was a bit of a dive bomb to be honest. That was a little bit naughty, that move, but we'll take it. Rosberg's up inside now though, and he's not going to back out of it, I don't think. No, he's not. He's still alongside us. We'll have to try and push him out. And that's corner, he's still there. No, he's not. Now he's backed out of it. And there we go then. So we managed to get up to P2 then from P4 on the grid. We'll certainly take that. And of course on the option tyres at the moment, fingers crossed we can have better tyre wear in the race, as we did in Australia when we were last running this setup. So fingers crossed we can have a decent race from here. Raikkonen's ahead. I expect he will just pull away from us, but if we can somehow keep this Mercedes at bay, I mean, it'll be a mission to do so, but not impossible I don't think. So we'll see how we get on. My straight line speed's certainly better now. I'm not running 6.6 wings as I was in the last race. Running 1.1 here, so that should be a lot better. But we'll see how we get on, running a little bit wider. This track is an absolute mare for corner cutting and extending. It really is really bad. You see me doing it again, they're just getting used to this first lap grip. And it's corners like that normally you wouldn't try and extend in previous games because the curbs were quite rough, as Rosberg's looking around outside now. We outbrake ourselves though, but luckily he has too. It looks like he went quite deep. We've certainly lost some time there, but he's lost even more time. Look at that, wow. And I'm going to need to go to Rich, make sure I'm going back to standard because I don't even need to. So that was certainly a let-off for the first lap at least. But yeah, this track for corner cutting and extending is because the curbs don't make a big difference to the car anymore. So I look inside tyre, go very deep. That's going to put Rosberg right on my tail. And we'll get to mention about the track extended in just a minute. But for now, we're going to have to go back to Rich just to try and stop Rosberg from overtaking us. And again, on Rich, though, looks like our straight line speed is very similar, surprisingly. So he didn't get any slipstream off me, but I've gone deep there, which is going to allow him right by inside, which is not ideal, even more so than it was in the previous lap, in the first lap. I try out on the outside, which I managed to do nicely. And again, going to leave no room on the exit. He's behind me enough that I don't need to leave any room, just push him out, and that's worked beautifully. But yes, I'll quickly mention about the track limits. So yeah, in previous games you had to avoid the curbs because they could you could get a auto spin curb, and they were a lot more aggressive. Whereas this game just doesn't seem to make a massive difference. The handling doesn't get massively affected by the curbs. As I mentioned in the previous video, the only thing that really makes a difference is the acceleration. So if you try and get on the throttle on a curb, it will spin you quite easily, or at least give you a bit of oversteer and send you across the track. So you've got to be a little bit careful. Times like that when you're crossing the curb, it's not too bad. But when you're trying to stay on the curb, I'm sure we'll see it during this race at some point. But yes, we're still holding Rosberg at bay for now. P2 still, but he's very close behind us once again. But hopefully, if we can nail our apex, we'll try and go on the outside again into this next corner. And hopefully that will become a trend. Let's have a look. He's going to be well along the outside once again. Outbraking us there, but again, leaves us way too much room. We nail the apex much better that time. Oh, we oversteer, but we get a better exit still. And actually, Vettel's able to attack him, and that's us miles ahead. We're not even probably doing it to Rich this time. So, well, if we can keep that happening, we might be able to stay ahead of this entire race, perhaps. But we skip now ahead to that the very same lap 3, and already it's not gone right. So he's not been able to get close enough. We're going to pull away just enough so that he couldn't get alongside us, which is bad news because now he's going to be all over us down this long back straight, or front straight rather, pit straight rather. Make up my mind in a minute. But again, though, without any slipstream and me on Rich, he doesn't seem to be able to make inroads into my straight line speed. There, he's managed to outbrake us massive on the outside though. We're going to nail the curb. Once again, he's given us way too much room. And that's actually allowed Vettel to get through this time. Bit of oversteer on the exit there. Vettel's nicely behind us. As when I've skipped to the end of lap 4, so once again, same lap. Same thing has happened. Vettel has not managed to get alongside us, which is bad news. We've locked the inside tyre a little bit. It's pushed us a little bit deep, compromised our exit. And he's way closer than Rosberg was. This could be very, very bad news for us. And he does now get DRS as well, of course. I think Rosberg might have done last lap, but does now get DRS for sure. Going to dive back in the slipstream there. Push Rosberg out a little bit further, try and make it free abreast in his first corner, but not able to outbrake them there. Oh, sort of more oversteer than anything, but Rosberg's on the inside then. Oh, there's been contact. That spun me around. through the gravel. Quick blast of the throttle to get the car spun back round, and Rosberg still stopped there. And trying to leave room on the inside, but a little bit of contact there, I think I heard. And wow, we've only gone down to P7. Not too bad, but could have been better. And as was having a look up our inside here, we're already past us. We're going to try and outbrake him on the outside here. Squeeze him on the apex, a little bit too much, to be honest with you, and made him take the curb. But we've managed to make the move stick still there on the outside, so back up. Well, still in P7, rather managed to defend the position, didn't we? And, well, not ideal. That was my fault, because I thought Rosberg had backed out of it. I tried to take a bit of a better line to try and get Vettel next, and Rosberg was still there. And I turned into him, made a bit of contact, spun me round into the gravel, but luckily a quick thinking, quick blast of the throttle spun me right round, and I was able to get back into the race very, very quickly. I've only lost really maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. Not too bad really, considering I had a spin. So yes, obviously won't be restarting or anything because of that one, because that was all my fault. I wouldn't anyway at this stage of the race. And we skip now ahead to lap 7. So I think that was lap 4 or 5. Nasra we've managed to drop Nasra, so he's now no longer with us, so to speak. That's a horrible saying. But we've managed to close up to Perez at least. Looks like he's going to pit actually. Hopefully we'll get some DRS on him, which we will indeed. Oh, we've lost the DRS. That's a bit of a glitch. That doesn't happen in real life, does it? We've just, because I would assume because he's pitted, we've lost the DRS there. So not ideal. But now it's P5. That's quite early. So we'll see on the tyre where it doesn't seem too bad for now. Bit of oversteer there, but not too bad. And we do now skip ahead to the end of lap 8, and we are going to pit. So just to cover him off more than I think, we should be still ahead of him. Or we should become ahead of him, rather. We weren't ahead of him when we pit, were we? And maybe even the car behind. But a lot of cars stay out. And I was very concerned about the cars behind. I almost stayed out in the hope that they would pit and I wouldn't get held up in the race like I did in, was it Malaysia? Got heavily held up in the pit lane, but I decided to just go for it and pit and hope I don't get held up. And actually, they didn't pit anyway, so good job I did. Paul Stevens has overtaken us. So is Nico Hulkenberg. And Robert Merry. Alberto Merry, I think it is. And Perez is behind us though, so we have managed to take Perez. It must have been Hulkenberg ahead of him, so we've not managed to get him, but we have managed to overtake Perez, so I'll certainly take that. So we've got off position, lots of oversteer though, and the tyres were starting to go off as well, so you know what? I might better gain some positions. I was in P5, well effectively P6, now I've gained 1 position I believe from that pit stop so far, effectively on track. That's my phone vibrating. I should probably put that on mute before I start recording a video. I'm going to do that right now. There we go. And we've got Roberto Merry ahead. So 2 seconds ahead, and that's actually 4 positions, so we're going to try and catch him, well, ideally for this DRS zone, because he will be on very worn tyres. And we've also got a much faster car. We're going to be pretty close to the DRS zone. Oh, it's going to be tight, nip and tuck, whether we're going to get lots of skid marks on the floor there on the track. And we don't manage to quite get DRS, unfortunately, but we are going to get lots of slipstream. But now we need to overtake him very, very quickly, because our tyres are just starting to come up to temperature. We're just starting to get some decent speed in now. Oh, he knocked it out of him, but he's very slow on the apex and just avoid the contact and actually managed to get the move done. That was more about trying to avoid him than get the move done, but it worked beautifully. That was incredibly close to his diffuser there. But now it's all about where everyone else is going to pit. I'm actually now pushing quite hard. You can't really see it because I'm trying to avoid cutting and extending, but I am pushing quite hard and hoping that lots of people pit on this lap, because those tyres were certainly starting to go off, so they probably would have gone off that last lap. They would have lost a couple of seconds. So hopefully I can overtake them, as Paul Stevens is actually staying out ahead. He might start on the primes perhaps. And this is lots and lots of people in the pit lane. I overtake lots of them up to P10, P9, P8. So P8 as it stands, there's a couple of people coming out ahead of us. So we might overtake them. That's Daniel Ricciardo. I believe he was ahead of us before we pit. So he'll be very slow now on these tyres. I hope I can get a nice solid slipstream on this back straight, which I'm going to go to Rich as well. And lots of slipstream. Look at this. This will be a nice easy move. He's going to be slow since, mind you, he's on options. He's actually come out on options, so I wonder if he started on primes or he's doing option prime, I'm not too sure. And Sebastian Vettel's just ahead as well. He's one of the cars that we were battling with when we spun, so we've gained a massive amount of time by pitting on the right lap there, and he's getting massively held up by Will Stevens. I've got him deep there, a little bit wide with the dirty hair ahead, and I'm going to try and make the move stick here, because I might be able to keep Vettel behind, so I need to try and overtake if I can. He's getting so badly held up, so I'm going to try at the outside of Will Stevens' next corner, which is not recommended at all. They're still side by side, bit of a lockup. Vettel's going straight off the track. We're going to run deep, so I'm going to try the inside, but oh, we spun, had a half spin. I've made contact there. Luckily, I've not lost my wing, and we have managed to make the move somehow. We do get DRS, and we're ahead. And that was a bit of good fortune that I didn't lose my wing, because that was quite heavy contact, really. And I believe I actually corrected him. I made him spin back round. And unfortunately, you probably realise by now, there's no replays of this race, because I forgot to record the replay cam, because I'm a genius. And as I said, I was also trying to do this race quite quickly to get my motivation back. So, and it worked, by the way. And it's a good race so far, anyway. There's a yellow flag somewhere. I think it's behind. So So Vettel must just had some sort of issue, perhaps with Merry again. Or Stevens was rather, but Ricciardo's close right up on us. He's now on the option tyres, of course. With a faster car and the faster tyre, this could be bad for us, but he has got a Renault engine in the back, so we're going to go to Rich and try and defend from it. He's going to get DRS as well. Now rest of the pits, we're up to P5, so we did certainly gain a position or two, and I don't think everyone's pit yet. We're up to P4 now. P4 then, so I've actually managed to not lose anything at all to Ricciardo down that straight. And I think that was Rosberg who pits, I'm not too sure. But up to P4, so we've actually not really lost anything. The only person we've really lost position to is Massa, who's still ahead. P3 now, with someone else's pit, but Ricciardo's going to try it around our outside, and I suspect the same thing will happen. He'll now go too deep, which he has indeed. And Raikkonen's managed to overtake him, but Raikkonen's now going to be close. No, he's not. Whoa, there's been contact there. Looks like Kimi Raikkonen, actually Raikkonen's pitting as well. Looks like Raikkonen took out Ricciardo, which is going to help, and he's pitting, which is very early. So I assume they were on the option tyres, so I'm not going to stay out on the prime tyres. It's lap 17, and we're actually P1 at the moment because Hamilton's now boxed, but he's behind us. He's going to be ahead of us very soon, I would have thought. Mind you, he's going to do the same thing, going to go too deep. Yes, he's leave way too much room when they're outside. On the outside, so we're going to be able to stay ahead of him for another lap. And we're going to pit, still not pitting then, so he's coming up to lap 20 now. I'm going to go to Rich just to try, and that's more about lap time than staying ahead of Hamilton. Because I don't really know where I am. They all pitted a couple of laps ago. Hamilton pitted, I think, on lap 18, something like that. So they've all been a couple of laps on these tyres. They're also on the prime, so I'm now staying out. I could have boxed quite early and guaranteed the P4, but I decided to take a bit of a risk, stay out till now. I will box this lap, and then going to go to the option tyres, because we know their tyre area isn't great. I hope their tyres go off at the end, and I can push and hopefully be faster on the option tyres, which I believe I was in Australia. Maybe I'm making it up. Not too sure, but anyway, if they're on primes, I'm on options. I might be able to make some inroads into them, but he's only 4 tenths behind Hamilton, so very, very quick indeed. But P1 at the moment, which is quite nice. There's a nice little change. And looks like there's a bit of a gap to Massa, but you can see him on the mini-map there. I assume that's Massa, but I've had a bit of wheel spin on the curb, but that's going to allow Hamilton on the inside. I'm going to have to give him a bit of room. And what a beautiful move that was. I get a bit of rear locking now to correct the oversteer on entry. And see on the curb there. Twice then I got on the curb on that one where I got a bit of oversteer, and that let him through. So not only poor traction, but a bit of oversteer that forced me over to the right-hand side. Enabling Hamilton through, and a poor exit out of that last corner. And unfortunately, I didn't get DRS either, which is a bit of a bummer, but never mind. We're going to pit this lap anyway. Our tyres were very worn, so it didn't really matter if I kept them behind or not. We had to make another pit stop. I thought for a brief second about staying out, but that was never going to work, was it? They would have completely dead. I probably went outside the point or something silly. So, nope, I'm going to pit for options. The primes would be the safe option. The options, I didn't go 9 laps in the beginning of the stint, but now I've got lighter fuel, so I'm taking a bit of a risk and hope that it will pay off. We're currently P2, but I'll obviously go down. And I was P4 before I pit, so I could have pit that next lap and come out in P4. Or maybe it would have been P5. P5 or P4, somewhere around there. We're in the pit lane now. Going to go for option tyres. Hopefully they do actually give me options. They do indeed. Nice 2.3 second stop. Massa's already gone through. Where's Kimi Raikkonen? He's still in P3. Where's Kimi Raikkonen? Where is Kimi Raikkonen? There he is. He's flying past now. Hulkenberg's next. No, it's Rosberg next. Sorry, it looks like Rosberg's just overtaken Hulkenberg, and they're going to be pretty close to me down the pit straight. Going to try and brake quite late. Come over a little bit to squeeze them, and I'm ahead of him. Hope I can stay ahead. I have cold tyres, but there are options. Oh, lots of oversteer. That's not ideal. That's going to put Rosberg all over me. And I've gone to stand. I was actually in lead during that pit lane there. And he's going to run me outside, but I'd imagine I can brake quite late. Can't get it slowed down though with these cold tyres. They warm up quite quick because they're options, but not quick enough. And he's still behind me though. Okay, I managed to get decent enough exit, so they should be warm by the time he next gets half a chance to overtake me. So it'll be quite a big corner cut there. And I think it was about 5 or 6 seconds to Raikkonen ahead there. That's like 2 stabs at the turn in. The front tyre's already pretty much warm now. Able to get a better turn in. And well, hopefully I can pull away from Rosberg. I mean, I doubt it since it's a Mercedes, but he's gone now on used primes. I'm on brand new option tyres, so it would have been a bit of a gap, you know. P4, so we've not actually lost any positions. So this strategy has so far worked, providing Rosberg doesn't overtake us. Although, if we pit on lap 18 or so, we probably would have been ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, but never mind. He was faster anyway, so it was probably worth still taking the risk. And this might just work, and it will give me better tyre life, and probably give me a better chance of defending and overtaking. One thing's for sure, Rosberg's not going to be alongside me down this straight, so we're not going to be able to use our normal move. We're going to go to Rich. You can only really go to Rich on the back straight on this track, because the tyre, because the engine temp's quite wide there, but just about managed to keep a wheel within the white lines, I believe. I'm going to go to the middle of the track to stop and get some dirty air, and once again, didn't have the straight line speed, I think, even though he's got DRS. There's no chance, absolutely nowhere near. So we just need to repeat that, please. And yeah, so the gap was about 5 seconds to Raikkonen, I believe. And I remember that from the edit, because I missed it while commentating there, so you probably would have taken note of it, but I missed it, and I believe it's around 5 seconds from what I recall when I edited the video. But Rosberg's once again not having a chance at us, so now half around the penultimate lap here. We're going to have Robert Merry ahead. Rosberg's still behind. We've managed to make inroads into Raikkonen's lead, but not enough unless he has a mistake on the final lap. Now Robert Merry could get badly in our way here. Rosberg's... I've been able to defend from Rosberg in a very similar fashion as we saw in that last lap. Robert Merry, though, getting a bit of oversteer there. He's on prime tyres. You can see me massively short shifting up to 8 for that. A to save temperatures, B to save fuel, and mainly to get the DRS, which I think I've just managed to do that. Oh, I've got a little bit deep though. Look, the inside tyre's going to push me wide. Rosberg's going to be all over us. No, he's not, luckily, because the man is still between us, but I expect he'll fly past him, which he has indeed. This could be close. He's pretty close to me here. I've gone to Rich, and I've got DRS. Hopefully I'll be alright, but it's going to be closer than I want it to be on this final lap. We're going to get away with it. I'm going to stick to the inside, but he's going to try and outbrake me around the outside. And that's not going to work. See on the right side, my tyres are quite worn. I don't know how worn his tyres are. I imagine they're similar. So, I should, in theory, still have the pace. Once again, I missed the gap to Raikkonen there. We'll hopefully get at the end of this sector. But, again, I remember doing from the edit. It went down to about 2.2 seconds or so, I think. At some point, it's just gone back up again to 2.8 because of that little bit of battling we just had to do. But, so, a bit of a cut again. And, so it's worked. I've been faster than a Ferrari, and I've not been able to pull over from a Mercedes, but that's sort of a given, really. But I've been faster than a 2015 Ferrari, so a lot of inside locking there. So it just shows that a bit of clever strategy use. Tell you what, I don't know about the win. Well, mind you, I had a half spin. If I didn't have that half spin, I would have been ahead of Raikkonen. I think I'd lost at least 2 seconds, didn't I? So that could have been P3. Massa, of course, wasn't involved with the spin or anything, so... but yes, that just shows my pace. If I can now run a bit of an alternative strategy, my pace, I've potentially got some decent pace in this McLaren Honda. So if there's a better track with slightly less straights, and I can perhaps tweak my setup a little bit more as well, I might have half a chance. It looks like I'm going to be comfortably ahead of Rosberg, but I'm a little bit wary of him coming down this final start-finish straight. He's going to get DRS, but I think the finish line is going to come up too quickly. Nailing the apex there. Ooh, but say beautiful exit, bit of oversteer, but not too bad. And that's going to put us comfortably ahead of Rosberg then for P4 in our McLaren Honda, which is our best result since the podium in Australia, the opening race. So we'll certainly take that, especially because we had half a spin, and it wasn't my best race I've ever had. So there we are then. Return to setups, you to return to pace, and a return to form, and a return to decent position. So we'll certainly take that. Bud's looking unhappy. His target was P2, would you believe? So from P5 on the grid, they wanted to go up P3 positions in a McLaren Honda and get P2. Yeah, right, Ron Dennis. And Raikkonen ahead did 3 stops, actually. 3 stops for Kimi Raikkonen, so that explains why he was so close. And Massa, well, only 10 seconds up the road, Felipe Massa. That's not too far, I'll tell you. Fastest up was better than his, slightly worse than Raikkonen's. But I'll certainly take that. That was a pretty decent result, and as I said, that yields hope for the rest of the season. Rather than the last 2 races that were looking a little bit, well, a little bit boring and lacking hope, but that certainly gives us some hope. And this is the constructors then, so McLaren Honda's actually gone up ahead of Red Bull for 43 points, and well, Mercedes going to run away with it, aren't they? But might better get Williams perhaps. And this is the drivers then, so staying P6 with 33 points. And that was that video then, so like I said, it yields some more hope, and the next video will be Spain, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.